It's time for another tier list, everybody. This is Console Crapshoot, where we usually spin a wheel to play a random video game on original hardware, and we've been adding all of our games that we play on this whole history of the show to this tier list. The first two episodes, we've been doing them 20 at a time, so we're up to episode 40. This is the third one. We're going to do episodes 41 through 60 and add those on the tier list, and then we're going to look at some statistics up to this point. I love me some spreadsheets and statistics. But let's get started. Let's get into it. Episode 41 was Star Wars Squadrons on the Quest. I played this on the Quest 3 with an assist from my PC. What did I give this one? I gave this one a 4. I absolutely love this game. It's probably one of the coolest experiences that I have in my entire setup, but the game is lacking a little bit, so it didn't quite earn the 5. Man, I just love playing this so much. I don't know. It's so much more fun to play than all of these 4s, but as far as a game, you know, I'm going to put it right here between Wampum and Conker's Bad Fur Day. Episode 42, we played Snake's Revenge on the NES. This is the bastard child of the Metal Gear franchise. This was a 2. It's an awful game. There's a lot more to it than a lot of these games. I'd say there's layers to it. Let's see. Yeah, no, I think I'd rather play a lot of these games than Snake's Revenge. I'd say it's better than Iron Man XO, Manowar, and Heavy Metal. Stick it right there. Episode 43, we got the Quest again, the Meta Quest 3. And we played my favorite game on that system, which is Walkabout Mini Golf. I play this game at least once a month, probably more, with a group of friends. I love this game. I think it's a masterpiece. I gave it a 5 out of 5. Wow, as far as its importance to video games, it's less important than all of these. Street Fighter 4, Grand Theft Auto, but what would I rather play? I mean, I'd rather play Walkabout Mini Golf than all of these, because I play it so much, but I can't, in good conscience, make it better than these. I'm going to put it right under Grand Theft Auto 3. It's a better game than Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, I'm going to put it below Grand Theft Auto 3. I can't do that. Grand Theft Auto 3 is just too important. Episode 44 was Castle Crashers on the Xbox 360. Absolutely love this game, and this was the first time we had 2 5s in a row on the show. This is a classic game. I wouldn't quite put it as high as a lot of these. It's probably in the lower end of the 5s, but I absolutely love it. Let's put it at the end here. Yeah, that works. Great game. Awesome beat 'em up. Still funny. All right, what's next? Episode 45 was The Death and Return of Superman on the Sega Genesis. Not a bad game, but just kind of right in the middle there. I sort of like in this, I gave it a 3 out of 5. It's sort of in the middle of this Gods territory here. What would I rather play, Death and Return of Superman or Gods? Which one's a better game? I think maybe Death and Return of Superman. Gods is super hard. No, it's below Gods. Sorry, Superman. Episode 46 was a lot of fun because I went on eBay immediately and hit up the Sega fishing controller, bought that, and we played Sega Bass Fishing on the Sega Dreamcast. I gave this one a 4 out of 5. It was surprisingly more fun than I thought it would be. Yeah, really good experience. Yeah, I'm gonna put it right between James Pond and Ninja Gaiden 3. Really good game, but it's a fishing game. How good can it possibly get? Miss Pac-Man for the Atari 5200 I also gave a 4, and I've talked about this. I love the Atari 5200. Most people hate it, but it just was my first system, and I have kind of a big place in my heart for it. And this, let's see, Miss Pac-Man, better, yeah, for the time that it came out, man, Miss Pac-Man. Yeah, and Gremlins, the other 5200 game, is right here. I actually really like Gremlins, and I'd rather play that because it's fresher to me. But Miss Pac-Man, yeah, Miss Pac-Man's got to go below Gremlins for me. Sorry, I know she's more important of a game for gaming history, but I'd rather play Gremlins, and I'd rather play Ms. Pac-Man over Ninja Gaiden 3 because it's way too, yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Episode 48 was Riot Zone on the TurboGrafx CD. If you were to ask me one episode that was my favorite episode that I made, one that I was the most proud of, it would probably be this one. I think it's just pretty unhinged, and it came out kind of funny, in my opinion, at least for my sense of humor. But while the episode was really fun to make, this game was not very fun to play. It was just kind of a generic side-scrolling beat 'em up, and it was funny, but for all the wrong reasons. So I would say Riot Zone, yeah, better than a lot of these, I'm going to put it below Fighting Street, which is aka Street Fighter 1. I'm going to put it right there because it earned points for being stupid funny. Actually moving Riot Zone up just a little bit more. Then we had Tokyo Xanadu on the PlayStation Vita. This was a boring game, very, very boring. It took a while to get into the action, but once you got into the action, it was really really, really good. It had the makings of being something great, but didn't quite get there. I gave it a 3 out of 5. Let's see, Tokyo Xanadu. I'd rather play Tokyo Xanadu. I'd rather finish that game than play a lot of these, but maybe it's under Sonic Shuffle. Yeah, between Sonic Shuffle and Zatch Bell, that feels right to me. All right, episode 50 was Steam Hearts on the Sega Saturn. That was another Japanese wheel that we did. And every 25 episodes, I do a Japanese only wheel. Steam Hearts is essentially a softcore animated adult game. It's a shmup, it's a shooter, but it is pretty dirty. Watch the episode to get the gist of what the game is actually about. The story is pretty wild. What did I give Steam Hearts? I gave it a 3 out of 5. It wasn't terrible. I'd say it's a lot better than a lot of these games here. Not quite as good as Sky Target. Yeah, I'm gonna put it between Saturday Night Slam Masters and Gods. Steam Hearts was lacking. Then we had Tomb Raider on the Game Boy Color. For a Game Boy Color game, this game was huge. It had a lot going on. The controls were wonky, but as far as a Game Boy Color game, you could say this was a 5 maybe. But I gave it a 3 out of 5 because it wasn't that fun to play. It was just a little too quiet. There was no music, and it was a little hard to control. Tomb Raider, I'm gonna say again, yeah, better than Fighter's Destiny, better than Jeopardy. Maybe not. I'm gonna put it right down towards the bottom here. Just eked out Fighter's Destiny, but Tomb Raider on the Game Boy Color. Let's go on to episode 52, which was Mad Maestro for the PS2. Very hard. I probably had a lot of lag going on with my setup, but it was fun. It was a cool, quirky concept. What did I give it? I gave it a 2 out of 5. I didn't love it, but it wasn't terrible. I want to put it on the higher end of the 2s here, better than a lot of these. Not quite as good as Afterburner. I'm gonna drop it right here. Yeah, right behind Afterburner for the Sega Master System. Higher end of the 2s. Then we had episode 53 was Puppeteer for the PS3. Man, I was really surprised by this game. I love this game. It was almost in the 5s, but didn't quite get it there for me. Really love this one, and I can't recommend it enough. This is going to be a high-end 4 for me. I'd say it was better than Dissidia Final Fantasy. Is it better than X-Men Legends? Man, it's more interesting, but I'd say X-Men Legends was a better. Maybe not. Damn, this is tough. It's getting harder to do this, guys. I'm gonna put Puppeteer over X-Men Legends. It's gonna be our new leader in the 4s. Great game. Episode 54 was Vigilante 8 for the N64. This is a classic. A lot of people love this game. The replay value for me wasn't really there. I enjoyed the game when it was out. It's a lot more fun with multiple people. Vigilante 8 for me was a 3 out of 5. I'd say it was a good kind of party game. Again, it's kind of hard in the 3s to break these two games, these two Dreamcast games, Sonic Shuffle and Time Stalkers. It's really hard to get past that wall in the 3s. I keep finding myself putting games right under there. Yeah, Vigilante 8. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Vigilante 8 is gonna go right in between there, between Sonic Shuffle. It breached the wall, but it's not quite good enough to make the top. Episode 55 was White Men Can't Jump on the Atari Jaguar. This game got my channel shadow banned for 2 weeks. I don't know why. I don't know what was wrong with the episode, but it was a horrible game, very terrible, which is again right on brand for the Atari Jaguar. I despise playing the Jaguar, and it's by far my least favorite system on the wheel. I have a feeling that's about to change once I get my CDI hooked up. But for now, yeah, whenever the Jaguar CD comes up, I get very depressed. I gave this one a 1 out of 5. White Man Can't Jump, man, it's worse than a lot of these games. Again, wow, look at this. So the bottom 3 games we've ever played, Brain Dead 13, Hover Strike, and White Man Can't Jump, these two were Jaguar CDs. At the end here, White Man Can't Jump was Jaguar. The best Jaguar game was Ruiner Pinball, and that was a 2 out of 5. And that's an anomaly for the Jaguar. That's pretty funny. All right, we took a little break after that shadow banning and came back 2 weeks later with episode 56, Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2 for the Sega Dreamcast. I gave this one also a 3 out of 5. It's fun, but it was kind of a clone. Like, it felt like DLC for the first Ready to Rumble Boxing. It wasn't quite its own game. Just kind of an incremental update, but it is really fun to play. I wouldn't put it as high as a lot of the 3s on here, but it's fun. I'd put it right above aggressive inline and not quite as, well, I'll put it above Zatch Bell. Yeah, it's up there. It's up there on the 3s, but not quite good enough to break past Tokyo Xanadu. Episode 57 was a big surprise. It was an NES game called Pinball Quest. This is a pinball game that is also an RPG at the same time. Super interesting concept. Really enjoyed playing this one. I don't see myself going back to it much. I gave it a 3, but it was a good 3. Let's start where we were on the last episode. Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2. Is it better than that? It was certainly more creative. I'd say no. I'm gonna put it right under Ready to Rumble, actually, because I think it's better than a lot of these. I think Pinball Quest is a really interesting title. Episode 58 was Lunacy for the Sega Saturn. I loved playing this, but again, it's kind of for all the wrong reasons. Again, it was really funny and unhinged. It's not usually my type of game, but it was just kind of a fever dream of a game. I don't know how to describe it. You got to play Lunacy and you'll get what I mean. It just feels wrong somehow. But I gave it a 3. Normally a game like this would have been a 2, but I enjoyed Lunacy so much. I'd put it higher than a couple of these, but not all. It wins a lot of points for creativity. I'm going to put it right above Gods, between Steam Hearts and Gods. And here, episode 59 is another Jaguar CD game, and can you guess where it goes? It was Highlander, The Last of the MacLeods on the Jaguar CD, and yeah, I think at the time I said it was the worst game we had played to that point, and I think I'm going to stick with that. And that would make the bottom 3 games that we have in here so far all Jaguar CD games, and the 4th worst a Jaguar game. Highlander was a clunky mess. I hated every moment of it, and I want no part of it ever again. And that brings us to the final episode for this tier list. That's going to be episode 60, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for the Sega Dreamcast. This one is a classic for me. I absolutely love this as far as fighting games go. It's amazing. Frantic, chaotic, but also beautiful at the same time. Can't get enough of this game. It's always something I go to when I have people over. Dodoi, I gave this one a 5 out of 5. Where it would go on the 5s, let's see. I think it's better than Ultra Street Fighter 4. Better than Walkabout Mini Golf? Man, I don't know. Again, I'm having second thoughts about Walkabout because I just enjoy it so much. This is tough. I'm gonna have to put Marvel Capcom 2 over Walkabout. Does it go over Grand Theft Auto? No. I'm gonna keep that just like that. So now we have 60 games on the tier list. This is pretty cool. It's getting quite interesting. I'm really excited to see the next 20 go up there. And speaking of interesting, let's go over to the statistics. I love me some statistics. I've said it before and I'll say it again. As far as the years that the games we played came out, 1995 has taken the lead. We've played 7 games from 1995. Right behind it is the year 2000 with 6. That's pretty cool. There's a new oldest game that we've played, and that's Ms. Pac-Man on the Atari 5200. That came out in 1983. And there's also a newest game, actually 2 of them. The 2 Quest games that we played, Star Wars Squadrons and Walkabout Mini Golf, both came out in 2020. So those are the newest games. I don't know if we'll ever pass that. We'll see. It'll probably take a while. What is the next stat? Systems that we've played. It looks like we have some new data here. It looks like the Saturn and the Dreamcast are both tied with 5 episodes each. That's interesting. Trailing behind is the NES, the N64, and the Genesis with 4 episodes. And ratings, it looks like the 3s have made a comeback and overthrown the 2s. There's 18 3s so far. That has definitely taken the lead. 15 2s, 13 4 out of 5s, and the 1s and the 5s are tied with 7 each. That is pretty interesting. I didn't realize I gave that many 5s. I think there's one more coming, actually. So I'm currently editing. I'm in the early mid 70s right now, and when I get up to episode 80, right after episode 80 airs, we're going to do another tier list, and we're going to have a lot more data to look at and a lot more episodes to look back at. I bet it'll be a lot harder to put these in order as well. But maybe since it's a while from now, I'll try to have some better graphics or stats to look at then. Thanks for watching, everyone. These tier lists are kind of for the people that hang out and watch every episode. I really appreciate you guys. The comments that I get that are like, this is my favorite thing on TikTok or whatever, and I never miss one. It's like, that means the world to me. That's such a huge compliment. Don't miss episode 70 on Friday morning coming out. It is a interesting episode. It's going to potentially get my channel struck down. So we'll see. I'm a little nervous about putting out episode 70, to be honest. I have friends that think I shouldn't. So let's roll the dice. All right, guys. See you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.